Welcome to a journey into the fascinating landscape of the human mind. Today we embark on a captivating exploration of the human psyche, an intricate web that lies at the heart of our thoughts, behaviors, and experiences. What is the human psyche? In essence, it is the center of our mental life. It is the birthplace of our thoughts, the wellspring of our emotions, and the driving force behind our behaviors. It is shaped and molded by our experiences, our environment, and the unique tapestry of our lives. Yet the psyche is not a monolith. It can be fragmented, divided, and dissected into smaller parts, each with its own roles, influences, and interactions. One of the most well-known breakdowns of the psyche comes from the influential psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, who proposed that the psyche is made up of three key components: the ID, the ego, and the superego. The ID, according to Freud, is the raw, unfiltered part of our psyche, driven by our most primal urges. It seeks immediate gratification and operates on the pleasure principle, constantly striving to satisfy basic desires. Then we have the ego, the rational part of our psyche. It operates on the reality principle, seeking to satisfy the ID's desires in a socially acceptable and realistic way. The ego is the mediator, negotiating between the ID's primal urges and the demands of reality. Finally, there's the superego, the moral compass of our psyche. It represents our ideal self, our learned sense of right and wrong. The superego strives for perfection and criticizes the ego for not living up to its ideals. These three components of the psyche are not isolated entities. They constantly interact, clash, and negotiate, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in profound ways. As we journey further into the landscape of the human mind, we'll delve deeper into these interactions and their implications. As we delve deeper, we'll explore how these components interact and affect our everyday lives. Now picture three forces at work within you: the ID, the ego, and the superego. Imagine, if you will, a committee meeting taking place within your mind. This committee is composed of three members, each having their own unique perspective and agenda. First, meet the ID, the most primal member of the committee. The ID acts purely on instinct, driven by two main impulses: pleasure and avoidance of pain. It's like a toddler, demanding immediate satisfaction with little consideration for reality or the consequences of its desires. It's the part of you that craves a slice of cake at midnight or yearns for a lavish shopping spree. Next, there's the ego, the peacekeeper of the committee. It's the realistic part of the psyche that balances the ID's impulsive desires with the moral standards of the superego. The ego operates on the reality principle, striving to satisfy the ID's desires in a realistic and socially appropriate manner. It's the voice of reason that tells you to save for a rainy day instead of splurging on that designer handbag. Finally, we have the superego, the moral compass of the committee. The superego holds the ideals, the codes of conduct we've learned from our parents and society. It's the part of you that feels guilt when you break a rule or pride when you do something kind. It's the voice that encourages you to share your midnight cake with a neighbor or donate to a worthy cause instead of shopping. These three components of our psyche, the ID, the ego, and the superego, are constantly in conversation, negotiating, and influencing our actions. They can be in harmony, or more often than not, in conflict with each other. For instance, the ID might crave a piece of cake, the superego might insist that it's unhealthy, and the ego might propose a compromise of having a small slice now and exercising later. These three forces constantly interact, shaping our actions and reactions, our desires and decisions. And it's this intricate interplay that makes each of us unique, complex, and wonderfully human. Beyond our conscious awareness lies a vast, enigmatic realm, the unconscious mind. This is the part of our psyche that is always active, always influencing us, yet remains largely unseen and unexamined. It's like a vast ocean beneath the surface of our conscious mind. The unconscious mind is an immense storehouse of feelings, thoughts, and memories that are too difficult, too painful, or too inconvenient for our conscious mind to handle. These elements are hidden away, but they don't just stay dormant. No, they find ways to influence our behavior, our emotions, and our reactions. Think about a time when you reacted strongly to something, but couldn't quite figure out why. Or when you found yourself drawn to something without a clear reason. These are instances where the unconscious mind is at play, guiding our actions based on its hidden reservoir of experiences and emotions. It's fascinating, isn't it? How this part of our psyche, this unconscious mind, plays such a significant role in shaping who we are and how we perceive the world. It's like a puppeteer pulling the strings from behind the scenes, influencing our actions in ways we can't even perceive. But remember, this isn't something to fear or resist. Instead, understanding the role of the unconscious mind can help us better navigate our emotions, our reactions, and ultimately, our lives. Because the unconscious mind, while hidden, has a profound impact on our lives. The human psyche is a complex system that intricately weaves together our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Just as a symphony is composed of individual notes harmoniously intertwined, so too is human behavior the result of the intricate interplay of the ID, ego, and superego, and the conscious and unconscious mind. Think of the ID as the primal instinct, the ego as the rational moderator, and the superego as the moral compass. These three psychic structures, which operate in both the conscious and unconscious realms of our minds, work in concert to shape our behaviors. The ID may crave instant gratification, but the ego, considering reality, might suggest a delay. Meanwhile, the superego would assess the moral implications of our actions. Our behaviors, therefore, are not random or arbitrary. They are the tangible manifestations of this complex and dynamic psychological interplay. We act based on the continuous dialogue within us, a conversation that is influenced by our past experiences, our present circumstances, and our future aspirations. Understanding this intricate system can help us make sense of our behaviors and those of others. It can foster empathy, promote self-awareness, and guide us in making decisions that align with our personal values and societal norms. In essence, it empowers us to be the conductors of our own symphonies, directing the music of our lives. In understanding the human psyche, we gain valuable insights into ourselves and the world around us.